Hello Aquarius, this is going to be a 2-month forecast for your sign. I'm making some predictions about what is going to happen this November and December for you. This is a little bit different to the type of readings I usually do here. The reason being is I'm 39 weeks pregnant, so the veil is very thin for me right now. I'm having pretty in tune, more prophetic kind of downloads than I would normally be having. Neptune is about to move back into Pisces and will be stationing conjunct my late degree Pisces sun too, which is always very helpful for my psychic ability. So I wanted to make use of this more rare window in my life that I can actually hopefully be of some sort of useful spiritual service to your sign in a bigger way. So if you're new here, welcome. Please be sure to subscribe. If you're not new here, welcome back, and know that this is not going to be as in-depth shadow work, kind of soul growth oriented monthly reading that I would usually do for your sign. This is more of a kind of like short, snappy, what's coming up in November, what's coming up in December. So grab your journal or your notes app, whatever it is, and take some notes, what's coming through. This is a little bit more of a predictive style reading for Aquarius this November. I'm just pulling 3 cards for each month. The only reason I will be pulling more cards is if I need to clarify a major arcana, okay? So first is the major arcana. We'll be clarifying that. I've got the Death card, the 9 of Swords, and the 6 of Pentacles. Don't fear the changes that are in store for you this month, Aquarius. They are deeply necessary, and although they may begin to be unearthing certain anxieties and stresses for you, rest assured that everything ends up being very balanced and supported by the time the month is out. So Death card, yes, let's clear it up. Death card is a signature of major change for you and a period of letting go, usually. Letting go of something old so that we can bring in something new. Doesn't every tarot reader on YouTube say something like that at a certain point during the reading? So let's get more clear on the nature or area of life that will be occurring for you in. You may get worried or swept up in the changes initially, the 4 of Cups, or else you might just completely shut down and try to bury your head in the sand and pretend that this isn't really happening. Is this my life? How did I get here? You may be thinking, how did an hour ago, my life looked completely different? That can be very jarring, of course, if change unfolds in such a way. Now, where this is happening in your life is, again, I feel like this is kind of a generic thing to say as a tarot reader, but the area of life that is set to change and have the biggest sort of purge and elimination phase for you this month is in the area of life that has grown the most stagnant, the most boring, and the most lackluster. So there is an area of your life that you can't be bothered with anymore. Maybe it's an opportunity that at one stage sounded great. Maybe it was a vision or a goal that you actually brought to the table. Maybe it was a job, and now you just can't be bothered with it. It doesn't really do the same for you on an emotional level. You've kind of tuned out in an area of your life and become rather dissociated. And I think that you might be some of you might be being kind of hard on yourself about that. And in November, I think that there is a kind of pressure cooker element where you are guilting yourself so hard about this, like you're on this major guilt trip, putting all the blame on yourself, focused only on who you're going to be letting down here, how you always do this, running these narratives that are not productive and possibly, I may even say probably, not even based in reality or true. That might not make, that may sound invalidating. It might still feel very real to you, but there is a kind of welcome energy when I see the Death card, because it says like, it's safe to let this go. Not only is it safe to let it go, it's going to be in your highest and best to let this go. Sure, this might have at one point looked really opportune and enticing, but the more you got into it, you kind of had to maybe accept that you were in it for the wrong reasons and you're not really fully interested. Some of you are just going to be more disciplined with saying no this month, where you're just kind of going to be more comfortable telling people right at the beginning of the month onwards, like, I'm not going to be attending, I'm not coming, I'm not available. And I get the impression, you know, that you're looking forward to, it doesn't seem to happen fully in November, but you're ultimately, like, there is a part of you that's looking forward to coming back into the fold and becoming more sociable again. But emotionally, you're just not feeling connected to the people that you maybe once were or you thought that you should be. But that's okay, because I think you're fundamentally going through major changes on a psychological level. Your mental health is going to be taking a really paramount position in your month ahead, leading towards finding a lot of support. Some of you may find a counselor, a therapist, or some sort of a person that you can work with on a one-to-one basis or in a group setting that really offers you a lot of support and understanding. The Six of Pentacles is really welcome to see you finding the assistance you need. So this month may be taxing mentally, but it's bringing you to a place where you can identify what needs to be worked through for you and what stuff still kind of niggles away and keeps you up at night and, you know, stresses you out and is impacting on your mental health. So although mental health is a big focus for Aquarius in November, there is a signature of you finding solutions and an amazing support system in place by the end of the month. Financially, the Six of Pentacles could represent an opportunity. I do have the Ace of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. An opportunity coming through for you this month that is going to offer you more money than you're currently making. Not by like an absolute like mind-blowing chunk more. I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing it as being quite like a stable or kind of predictable sort of even increase, but all the same, it's something that might give you like the benefits of more time, more flexibility, or just more of a feeling of fulfillment or security. So there are opportunities for Aquarius this month in terms of feeling more stable and secure and balanced and not feeling like they're so on the edge anymore. And I think a lot of you are living kind of like and absolutely maybe sick to death of living like this, living like, I won't say paycheck to paycheck necessarily for everybody, but living like on just the end of one situation, like the end of your tether almost. You're like, well, I'm kind of only after getting over this hump, you know, anything else would almost set you over the edge. So therefore, I think you need to really embrace the call of the Six of Pentacles that is coming up, which is going to look like just more predictability, more stability, and more support. You may be sharing something this month, sharing your worries, sharing your living space. You may be renting your room. You may be just sharing your inner world and your anxieties that you're having. But watch out for what this Ace of Pentacles might be. It could be something that offers more flexibility in your job in terms of where you can work from. And I think some of you are just getting approved for your paid time off and your holiday leave, which is nice. Okay, so let's look at December. I'm moving to another deck so that we can see if we're getting any duplicating cards. Five of Wands in reverse, 10 of Cups upright, 10 of Swords in reverse. Okay, so when we see tens like this in the reading, 10 of cups upright and 10 of swords in reverse, we know that it's quite like death card energy. Things are drawing to a close for you. So this November and December overall, Aquarius, is not necessarily a time of starting major new projects. The only thing that I see really beginning for you in a way is whatever kind of support comes through for you in terms of managing your worries, stresses, and mental health, as well as like if you're getting some sort of a grant or loan, it's going to start a trajectory of something like quite stable and easy to manage without like many disruptions. So you're kind of like starting out an ongoing phase of something that is going to be predictable in terms of repayments or when you're getting paid, and it's kind of like locked in for a bit. But other than that, November and December seem to be energetically at least a time for you to be wrapping up projects, bringing phases of your life to a close, and kind of with the death card and 2 tens, like this might even be pretty tangible, real endings coming to the surface. Some of them are going to be like 9 of swords in November, 10 of swords in reverse in December. Like some of them are more just like, I'm absolutely done thinking about this, like this kind of like trauma or this kind of mental health issue and anguish that I have been going with and running with for so long is now really ready to come to its end. And you know, everything ends at a certain point, okay? So if you are feeling like, yes, it might be time to fully release, then why not let this be it, you know? Or at least why not try, or at least assume that it will be, and you know, life happens, but this could be a window of opportunity to fully release and let go of a narrative that is majorly past its sell-by date, and it's not comforting, it's not supportive for you. But other endings that could happen, of course, I mean, you know, you may not want to be in a relationship with that person anymore. You may not want to continue this friendship. You may not want to say yes anymore, and you've changed your mind in a bigger way. So the 5 of Wands and the 10 of Cups, the 5 of Wands in reverse and the 10 of Cups. For many of you, the most long-standing or a long-standing emotional dispute or fight or quarrel that has been permeating your world is coming to a close in December. That's another more abstract cycle or ending that's represented here for you. Who have you not been getting along with? Who have you been experiencing the most tension with? Who do you have in your world that you kind of, when you know you have to meet them, you know that it's going to be a disagreement or a difference of opinions, and it may not even be unhealthy or anything that's detrimental, but you just have these kind of like more egotistical like preparations before meeting them. Well, if they say that, I'm going to come back with this, and you know, this kind of like back and forward. There's somebody in your life that there is a sort of like, could be a colleague, it could be somebody at, you know, in your social life or whatever, but this is coming to an end this month. So if you're in a disagreement or some sort of a long-standing dispute, or you know, family members aren't getting along or whatever it may be, the 5 of Wands in reversal shows a dropping of the weapons, for lack of a better word here, or a dropping of the armor or defenses, and there's a kind of softening of the edges here. Now the 10 of Cups actually can represent a very, very positive outcome to this situation, where you're feeling enormously rejuvenated and reconnected to this person, or just to life in general. The 10 of Cups, especially in this deck, to me represents this beacon of light that is coming through in December for you, where you're achieving some sort of a emotional breakthrough, even spiritual breakthrough. Something pretty blissful is attainable for you. A lot of that will be to do with compassion, forgiveness, healing, especially of the 5 of Wands, like where you haven't been getting along. That's going to just feel incredibly welcome, I think. But yeah, the 10 of Swords in reverse, I think that there is something now that I see the 9 of Swords, and the Nine of Swords with the Death card and the Ten of Swords in reverse. I'm like, between November and December, there is actually something really, really crucial that comes to an end for you. It's the thing that has been very dominant and bleeding you dry, mainly mentally. But it reaches this critical turning point in December, and I think after you get to experience such an emotional high in the month of December, which comes alongside with kind of giving up this need to be right, or to have the last word, or to kind of control a person, control a situation. You just let everybody be free, let go and let God, and then suddenly there is just this like, I can't even feel somewhat like of a psychedelic experience, even, where you have this ego death and breakthrough and awareness, and everything just seems so right in your world that you can identify what has been potentially so unaligned for you. So embrace the energy of wrapping cycles up in your life and letting things that have reached expiration date completely dissolve this November, December, Aquarius. It would be not in your interest, and nor are you even interested by the looks of things, in maintaining any kind of force or illusion there. You don't have the energy for it anymore. I look forward to hearing the support system that you put in place or find, and I look forward to hearing about how something is locked in by late November to you that brings you a lot of stability and comfort, financially maybe, or just in terms of your like free time and spaciousness, that you don't really even need to put much focus or effort into. It's just something that's going to play out alongside whatever else you're doing without you really needing to make much effort there. It's just very nice and secure. Okay, Aquarius, talk to you soon. Bye.